Okay. I believe that we have like 9 quests to do. Okay, we are at Tidings for Gearbonus. So 5 for 3.5 and 4 for 3.56. Where do I find it? Oh, over there. If I used my eyes, you know, it would probably help a lot. I need to take that off the screen. To be fair, I had I had OBS covered. So we can't blame me fully. We just blame me for being a little stupid.
I need to plug my phone and earbuds in for later.
I'm hoping with like the 40 something minutes that I'll have ahead of yesterday, I'll be able to do the extra quest or two. But that's like a big hope. A little. Just to hear I wanted to see. Would you mind doing me a small favor? Do 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 do. I need you to meet me at the Diamond Forge. This won't take long, I promise. Alright. To the Diamond Forge, which is just up there. Do 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 do. I'm sorry to drag you all away from your duties, but as I said, it won't take long. I just need you to stand perfectly still for a few moments. Alright. Right, everyone's ready to go to work? Now quit squirming. Oh, you might want to close your eyes. Tataru, what are you doing? What are you doing to me, Tataru?
Hehehehe.
I don't like the evil look in your eyes. I know this is the setup for the outfit, probably. But still. Why am I out of breath? There, all finished. The Warrior of Lights, every measurement from heroic head to intrepid toe. Yeah, this is just for the future outfit she gives me. Well, wouldn't you like to know? All in good time, little. All in good time. Someone save me. Oh, I found you. Alfino wants everyone in the Solar for a meeting. I don't know what it's about, but he seemed to think it was very important. Go on, we have everything we need. No sense in keeping everyone waiting.
We're here. Did we miss anything?
We would not presume to begin without you, Ida. Eorzea has returned to the Waking Sands, but everyone else is now present.
Yes, but for what exactly? We all have duties to attend to, Alphino, so you may dispense with the preamble.
Thank you, Eorzea.
Someone's...
It is the very subject
Oh,
of
I
those
see.
duties which compelled me to call this gathering. Though the Warriors of Darkness no longer pose a threat, Eorzea's many troubles demand no less of our attention. And while I stand by the decision to approach each task as we see fit, I fear our effectiveness will ultimately be diminished should we continue to act in ignorance of each other's efforts. Thus, I propose we elect a successor to Minfilia. Not to serve as a fully fledged antecedent, perhaps, but as a coordinator of operations.
Is that all? Oh, then the decision seems clear. No one else has shown any enthusiasm for the role, and judging by your performance at our previous meeting, you would seem the perfect candidate. You always did have a flair for politics.
Yeah, I agree.
I should be the leader. Me, Alfino Littler.
I did not mean to... That was not my intention. As my tenure as commander of the Crystal Braves comprehensively demonstrated, I lack the qualities required for such an office. I would much prefer to remain as I am now, a soldier in the field, so to speak.
Should none of our number step forward, must we then constrain some unwilling candidate to take up the position?
Well, based on merit alone, a certain adventurer would be my choice. Though I concede he might struggle to balance his new responsibilities with, let me see, slaying primals, thwarting legatuses, and feeding the orphan poor.
Yeah, I do all those things, don't I?
Thancred makes a good point. Any who would wear such a mantle would be bound by its obligations. Have we not become sufficiently familiar with each other's methods to act without an overseer? At present, I see no cause to so willingly limit one of our number.
Oh my goodness! Help! I need some help here!
That door's talking.
Tataru, are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. It's
All
this
we
poor
gotta do
girl who
bounce
just
on his
staggered
wall
in
soon.
and collapsed on the floor that I'm worried about.
Narco! God, how did... Yashola! Please, you have to help her.
Kral, a hand if you would. Let us see about closing these wounds.
Now, we've staunched the bleeding, but it may be a while before you can move about again. Though having seen your wounds, I'm surprised you are still moving at all. Thank you. My message. It was too important to delay. I took the shortest route I could, though I knew it was more heavily patrolled. As you can see, my efforts at evasion were not entirely successful.
Honestly, you're too brave for your own good.
What was so urgent that you needed to fight half the Empire to get here? You could have been killed.
I'm sorry, Ida. I had good reason. But I imagine your friends are wondering who this bloody mess of a Mikote is. My name is Minago, and I belong to the Alamegan Resistance. I came to warn Ida and Papalimo about one of our leaders. A man
Good
who
evening,
calls
Daniel.
himself
How are
the
you doing,
Griffin.
my boy?
He's always been dangerous, but he's planning something new. Something reckless.
The Griffin, you say? I've heard the name. Rumor has it your man is eager to test his claws.
Doing pretty good.
Aye, and on no easy target. He means to assault Belsar's wall from the Alamegan side.
Very excited to potentially get through these
But what does the
9
Griffin
quests.
possibly hope to gain
I'm
from
happy that I
such an
started like
attack?
almost an hour earlier than yesterday and the day before.
From what I understand, he wants the fires of war to spread to Eorzea. And for that, he needs to control the border with Gridania.
So, he means to spark a conflict between the Alliance and the Imperial forces stationed in Alamigo, to have Eorzea's armies aid in the liberation effort, whether they will it or no.
His plan is flawed. Even should the Resistance succeed in occupying the wall, they would not be able to hold it. Imperial reinforcements would drive them out within a week.
Yeah, Belsar's wall will be the big
Be that
iffy,
as it may,
but I could potentially
there
get
is
people
even a
from
chance that
the
this scheme
FC
could
to
bring
help.
about an escalation in hostilities between Eorzea and the Empire. The Alliance must be informed.
Agreed. I should depart for Limsa forthwith and seek an audience with the Admiral. Thancred, Uldar is yours. Alphino and Alize, make haste to the Twelveswood and notify the Elder Seedseer of the danger to Gridania. She would duly call a council of the Alliance leaders, whom you must be ready to receive. You will be our voice in Ishgard. Explain the situation to Sir Emeric and encourage him to send an envoy.
Oh, yeah.
To Taru, Kryl. I leave the care of our injured messenger to you.
We shall see.
See that she remains quiescent and her wounds closed.
I forgot
I
this
believe
area
that
is like
covers
where they
everything.
give us those
Let us be about our tasks.
super long cutscenes.
I suspect the ill tidings from Girabania will be held as a turning point. The beginning to a bloody end. The business of war was ever conducted with the coin of self-sacrifice. 'Twas Master Louis Soir himself who taught us that such costs are not to be ignored or denied. And so, I shall embrace them. When the time comes, I will make my choice, as you will yours.
Yeah. When I first heard it, I was like, isn't it? I don't remember who that is. But at this area is where I'm like, oh, yeah. They're talking about aprons and, or chocobo aprons and, peeps. Marshmallow peeps. Nope, I'm in one of the points where sound doesn't really happen from teleporting. I always found that weird, that there's like some areas where sound just doesn't exist, it seems. Bum, 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 bum. Greetings, warrior of light. What business brings you to Ishgard? Well, let's see. I see. Wait here. I will summon Sir Aymeric. Another cutscene. It is good to see you, my friend. 'Tis but a pity it is under such circumstances. Had Lucia not informed me of the urgency of your suit, I would have certainly sent for some wine. But to business. I thank you for bringing these developments in Alamigo to our attention. Ishgard will of course have to send an envoy to attend the council in Gridania. I cannot say who will represent us, however, as the choice is not mine to make. Not mine alone, at any rate. Given the imminence of the threat, we may forego all the formalities of a full assembly. But I will need to consult my counterpart in the House of Commons prior to the proceedings. Will you permit me some time to make the necessary arrangements? Not agreements, not arrangements. I thank you. Our representative, whomever we select, will require a suitable escort. Make your preparations and inform Sir Hydaelyn that he is to lead in your absence. Yes, Lord Commander. Pray, little, pray accompany Lucia to Gates of Judgment, and make ready to depart for Gridania. I will have our envoy join you as soon as I can. Fury speed you on your way. Godspeed. I don't know how fast that is, but people say it. If you have no business in the city, join me at the Gates of Judgment. We must be ready to depart the instant the envoy arrives. Lucia. How goes it, girl? We meet again. As it happens, my counterpart in the House of Commons agreed that I should act as Ishgard's envoy. Not, I concede, that there was ever any real doubt. As Lord Commander of the Temple Knight, it is my duty to sanction any military cooperation. But be that as it may, I could not in good conscience make the decision alone, not with the ink scarce dry in the Republic's books of statutes. I trust you understand, my friend. Alas, I must test your patience still further by making a brief stop at Camp Dragonhead. Given the trouble brewing in the Black Shroud, I would see that the garrison is ready to defend the border. Yes, sir. So when I was like looking at getting the Alfino outfit, I was looking at some other characters, like, oh, I could have been Papalimo, you know, as the substitute for what's coming up. I was tempted to be Hien, but I couldn't, and Aymeric, but I couldn't think of any jokes that would have worked with the name, and Alfino Littler works. But also now I really like Alfino Froggier, because that's really good. Maybe when my hair is white, it's littler, and when I dye it back green, it'll be Froggier. The garrison commander awaits within. Why not accompany me, little? You may see a familiar face. Ah. Cutscene time, cutscene time. Here are more cutscene times. Little old boy, How wonderful to see you, and Sir Aymeric too. To what do I owe these unexpected pleasures? I will have some mulled wine brought up from the kitchens at once, if you will excuse. Nay, do not trouble yourself, Henrio. We shall soon be on our way. Let's see a brief summary, if you will. Yes, Lord Commander. Let's go, Riley, making progress. I'm just checking something out. Those villains hardly need an excuse to wage war. Bloodletting comes as naturally as breathing as a I mean to an imperial. And thus, we shall strengthen our patrol as you suggest. We shall also be sure to communicate with these developments to Lord Francel at the Observatorium. I see. You have everything in hand. Carry on, Commander. Surprised to see yours truly at the helm? Maybe. You and me both, old boy. I doubt I'll ever feel worthy to sit where he sat. Aw. Yet, we can but play the hands we are dealt, and with a little help from the veterans, and Henrio's ceaseless chidding? I don't know, like, whatever. I'm sure I'll muddle through. Also, no, worry not, old boy. Off to Gridania with you. Ba-da. Bum bum ba dum ba. Ba ba da ba ba. Oh, it's like right over there, isn't it? Yep. I think I was gonna have to go a little bit further. Diplomatic duties have brought me here on several occasions, but I find that as enraptured by the Black Shroud, its beauty now when I first laid eyes upon it. I fear that this time, however, hey, another fellow Alfie. Events shall not afford us the luxury of enjoying the splendors of the forest. It seems we are to have an escort to the Lotus Stand. A pleasant place to discuss unpleasant matters, is it not? Yes, of course. 'Tis like that we are the last to arrive. Let us announce ourselves, shall we? I was gonna look. Do I have any of the, Is this my little Lala friend? No, you were the frog friend. And Alamango's a Lala. Oh, looks like they're not a Lala anymore? You are still Lala. You are no longer Lala. Or you are not Lala at all. You are... That is a picture. I had so many fellow Lalas around for a while, and now they are all gone. The envoy from Ishgard has arrived. Very good. This way if you Ah, and the Lominsian party as well. Ah, you giddy. I had hoped to slip in unnoticed, but I see... what's with the ghost doing here? I had hoped to slip in unnoticed, but I see I was not the only one delayed in my arrival. Greetings, Sir Aymeric. Admiral, always a pleasure. And Little, I trust you are well. 'Tis a day for reunions, it seems. I believe you are acquainted with my escort. Master Little, I was glad to hear from Riol that the missing signs have now been found. There is much and more I would discuss with you. So nothing on cross-region travel, big sad. The day, I can't wait for cross-region travel to happen because, like, I want to be able to, in the future, you know, do dungeon runs with you and with Riley and with anyone who's in the Discord. Like, if there's someone in the Discord and they're from another, like, region, I hope and pray that as we get closer to Dawntrail, we get news about cross-region stuff. Like, make it so you can only do cross-region after you complete the MSQ. How about that? But, like, come on. We need it. There is much and more I would discuss with you, but let us first attend to the issue at hand, shall we?
I bid you welcome, my friends. As you will by now be aware, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of Gyr Abania. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphino?
Indeed, Elder Seedseer. Our information comes directly from a member of the Resistance's inner circle, and we have no cause to doubt its veracity.
This griffin of theirs is a fool if he thinks he can hold Belsar's wall against the Empire. When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force. And the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
At the Battle of Cartano, the combined might of 3 grand companies labored to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion.
I joined the cult of Yoshi P. Will he
Gridania
put
would
any
be
cross-region
hard-pressed
for me?
indeed
Maybe.
to hold back the tide.
Become a
should the
Lala
Garleans
Black
turn their
Mage.
minds
Join
from
the cult.
reclamation to invasion.
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity. 'Tis a stain upon our ledger that I would fain remove. Elder Seedseer, I do hereby request leave to deploy a defensive force within the borders of Gridania. Ishgard's return to the Alliance shall be honored by more than mere ink upon parchment.
Attaboy.
The Doman people too would join any effort that weakens our common foe. We are few, but our most seasoned shinobi are at your disposal.
I love you, Yugiri.
On behalf of my people, I offer you my humble thanks. Gridania welcomes your assistance.
It is time we set
He's
our
just like that. He
contingency
really is.
plans
I
in
love him.
motion. Is the Alliance agreed?
He's like, my love language is action.
Then let
And
us make
anything
ready
to
for
make
war.
the Warrior of Light know how
Victory
much action I
favors the
enjoy.
swift. There is much to be
Wait,
done.
what?
The Council knows that Alamigo will not soon be wrested from the Empire, and its decision to bolster the border's defenses seems eminently
Amric needs to
practical.
chill.
Why then,
I don't
brother,
think
do
he
you
has
scowl
that
so?
setting.
I agree that they have chosen the wisest course available. Indeed, the only reasonable one. Yet something feels awry. In making ready for war, is the Alliance not granting the Griffin the very thing he desired? Any attempt to hold the wall is doomed to failure, aye. But I wonder if we have misjudged the prize for which he plays.
Lope. But the Council was able to reach an accord so swiftly is a heartening development in itself. I only hope my misgivings prove unfounded. Ah, good. You have yet to depart. I feared I had missed you. I missed you too, Amric. Sir Amric. Master Alfino, a pleasure as always. And Mistress Alize, how wonderful to see you thus recovered. Pardon the interruption. I had hoped to thank Little for serving as our escort before our other duties called him away. I also wish to thank our Doman ally. Hello, wife. Forgive me, my lord. I was but away at an opportune moment to join in the conversation. I was but awaiting, my bad. A force of habit made out of keeping to the shadows. I'm not choking on spit, you are. No apologies are necessary, Mistress Yugiri. I was most grateful for your interjection when I offered Ishgard's support. My nation's historic failure to heed to the Alliance's pleas for aid is a matter of record. Or record, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Even so, the Alliance leaders were plainly unprepared for my impromptu apology. The resulting air of awkwardness might have lingered longer were it not for your timely offer of cooperation, which allowed the Elder Seedseer to accept us both. I very much appreciate the gesture. I only did my duty, Sir Amric. The Empire is an enemy to us all, and we are grateful for the opportunity to fight at your side. And full glad are we to have you. Pray convey my regards to the Scions, my friends. We must return to Ishgard. Whatever is wrong with a simple sorry or thank you? Must these politicians always make a speech of everything? That is how we adults speak, dear sister. We? Mayhap the ones who like the sound of their own voice. In any case, our business here is concluded. We should be on our way as well. Will you accompany us to Revenant's Toll, Yugiri? Actually, I think I shall first pay visit to the East Shroud. I'm curious to know how Papalimo and Ida fared in their tasks with the Sylphs. Not to mention what has been going on at Belsar's Wall. I would join you at the Rising Stones anon. Well, one thing I realized about Stormblood is we go to Doma to A, liberate Doma, and B, that they can help us fight the Imperials in Alamigo. However, when we go back to Alamigo, we just start winning battles even without the Doman force being there. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little, I'm guessing there's like those are like some things that people don't enjoy about it, like that there's all these like build up to certain parts that we just don't see fully in fruition until like the end. But I guess the end is where we really wanted it, even though we were getting destroyed by Imperials before we left for Doma. Yeah. I don't know what like the... again, it's been a while since I've actually focused on that story. So I'm going through this, I'm gonna be paying like proper attention. Oh, Fall Guys. I'm gonna be paying proper attention to the fluidity and the what's it called? Way the story develops. Because after I beat everything, I want to do a video where I talk about where I rank each of the expansions. ARR, Heavensward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, Endwalker. In the future, I'll do one that adds in Dawntrail. But because I'm really hoping that I enjoy Stormblood more this time around than I did in the past. Although I do like the sceneries in some areas, and it introduces a few of the characters that I quite love. And one of my favorite villains, but I feel like in the past there was something I felt like I was missing from Stormblood. So I really hope I can enjoy it more this time around. Welcome back, Little. I don't know about you, but I am heartily glad that all of the talking is over. I understand that these council meetings are important, but you do not find it tiresome to have weigh every word before you speak it? I doubt I will ever feel at home in the realm of politics. I'm with you on that, kid. That said, people have been known to change, and if my brother is willing to run his own errands, anything is possible. Here we are at Griffin on the Wall. Who is the first of them all? I don't know what that voice was, but we're going to, I'm gonna stick with it. Hello, cat lady. Well, as much as I enjoyed the bustle of the toll, I think it's time we headed inside. My brother and the others will not be long. Hello, fairy lady. Cute. Oh, it's this guy from earlier. Ah, your return from the council. But what of Alfino? Did some other matters require his attention? Mine apologies, friends. I trust we have not kept you waiting over long. Greetings, everyone. Oh, Kryl, how's Naga doing? She will be all right, won't she? I don't see why not. She's sleeping at the moment. Tatsu is keeping an eye on her, so we'll know soon enough if there's any change in her condition. Her wounds are healing. With sufficient rest, I am certain she will make a full recovery. Thank goodness for that. Well, it's a shame that I can't read. Or I can't count, I think is what she says. There's so many of them, more numbers than we can face. So it's a good thing I can't count. Now, mayhap you would share with us the council's decision. Each of the nations, including Ishgard, or Ishgard included, have committed to providing military support to Gridania. The Eorzean alliance will soon have a sufficient force in the Black Shroud, ready to respond to any Imperial act of aggression. You know, I almost wish the Council would stop messing around and give the Griffin what he wants. I wouldn't like the Imperials to be caught between the Resistance and the Alliance. Ida, you cannot be serious. You cannot seriously. One does not lightly go to war with the Garlean Empire. Quite. To open hostilities, without due consideration, would be to invite disaster. If only there were some way to reach the Griffin, some means to convince him to abandon his this reckoning course. It may not be entirely unfeasible. There is a network of tunnels beneath Baelsar's wall. Ow, my elbow. I just hit it on the table. Shit. Secret passages dug by the Resistance to provide a way out of Alamigo, which may equally serve as a way in. Precisely. If all are in agreement, I would be the one to undertake the necessary negotiations. I am familiar with the route, and the Resistance is familiar with me. About as familiar as they are with me, you mean? Say what you want, I'm coming too. I have some experience in the practice of infiltration. If you would have me, my services are at your disposal. As are mine. It has been far too long since I shared a shadow with the shinobi, and I do not intend to waste the opportunity. Foe is quite sufficient for an infiltration mission. Greater numbers will only serve to increase the risk of detection. Kyle and I will direct our energies elsewhere. What of you, Levieurs? Well, the three of us Levieurs. I'm a littler, I get it. I will return to the East Shroud and stand watch over the border. Should matters take a turn for the worse, 'twould seem wise to be on hand. Might I prevail you to accompany me, little? Gridania will be safer for your presence, and while it may not seem the most thrilling duty, dear sister, might I ask you remain at the Rising Stones to pass on messages and so on? To hold the fort, you mean? Very well, I suppose the task must fall to someone. Safe travels, all of you. If you have any unfinished business with the toll, pray attend to it now. I would depart for Hawthorne Hut without delay. The nearby watchtower offers an unobstructed view of Baelsar's wall, and I should be interested to speak with the Alliance's commanders who have installed themselves at its top. I like how we are already at Baelsar's wall, basically. Ah, little. There you are. Come, Amarisiex's spire awaits. The Alliance officers on the platform should be able to apprise us of any developments on the wall. Finish up something? Hell yeah. Hope you're doing good as well today, Claire. Fancy meeting you two here. We are about to set forth. Indeed. I was about to say, 12 watch over you, but I doubt you have need of divine protection, even if you are venturing into enemy territory. Don't worry, Alfino. We'll have the griffin by the scruff of his neck before you know it. Don't you, do make up your mind, Ida. Nary a moment ago, you were ready to shake the griffin by the hand rather than the neck. So which is it to be? 'Twould be best decide before we enter into negotiations. Trust me, Papalimo. I'll shake whatever needs shaking. The talking part, I leave to you. I think I feel a headache coming on. Let's be on our way, shall we? Yeah. I'm gonna do something that I don't think we expected. I'm gonna do an early reset. Ah, some things never change. Well then, shall we make for the spire? Our alliance friends will doubtless have news for us. I look giant compared to him right now. But that's just a trick of the camera. But I don't know how long it'll take us to get the queue, even with Claire involved. I don't know how long the cutscenes will be, so it's best to have this reset done now over any other time. Also, because I had the game open again for like 20-ish minutes maybe before the stream started. There we go. Alright, I'll be right back in a quick second. Just also need a quick little break. Enjoy his face staring at you intensely. Alright. Hey, Gwibber, let's go. So as a warrior, should I level up botanist because we both wield axes? Just like reapers and gardeners or botanists are the same thing? Welcome, warrior of light. I assume you are here to speak with our commanding officers. You will find them on the observation platform. Pray proceed. Pippin! Yeah? It's Link. Greetings, my friends. 'Tis good to see you both well. I was hoping you might turn up. I dragged half the watch here. See, and the sight of you might help remind them why we bothered. If memory serves, I have not seen you since the day, seen many of you since the days of the Grand Melee. Having borne the brunt of your blows, may I say, what an honor it is to stand at your side. 'Tis heartening indeed to see the realm's most stalwart defenders thus gathered in a common cause. Speaking of which, what news from the wall? All has been quiet. Hey, don't BS and say it's quiet. Report. What? Seven Hills. Fighting broke out on the top of the wall. A full-scale assault?
So, the Griffin has made his move.
Someone has. And what's that supposed to mean? The attackers, they were wearing Grand Company colors. Impossible. We gave no such orders. Of course, the wall was never the Griffin's target. It was bait. We have been goaded into pulling our armies nearby, thus leading way into his deception. If those uniforms are convincing enough to deceive my scouts, the Empire will surely think we've launched an offensive. This could mean war. Even so, this may yet be no more than a diversion. With the armies of the Alliance occupying the Empire's attention, it would be comparatively easy for the Griffin supporters to slip into Alamigo. He could then incite a rebellion amongst the populace, which the Imperial Reserve would be hard-pressed to contain. Eorzea, meanwhile, would be plunged into chaos. Little, we must make for the wall at once. What? Just the two of you? Our companions embarked on a mission to sway the Griffin from his course, and are likely halfway to his command post by now. They will emerge in the midst of a raging battle. I do not mean to abandon them to their fate. It will be dangerous, aye, but the confusion may work to our advantage. If we are careful to avoid the skirmishing, it may be yet possible to reach the Griffin, and if we can do that... Lady Hilda, might I ask that you have an airship ready to bear the Scions to safety? Ha! I don't know who this Lady Hilda is, Marshal, but you can count on me. We must prepare for the Imperial reprise. For Imperial reprisal. May the Navigator guide us through the storm. Forward, comrades! The time has come to drive the Empire from Alamigo, and force action upon those who have turned their backs to our suffering for so long. Let this victory be the first step in the liberation of our homeland. Homelander. Alamigo will be free, no matter the cost, and it will be sloppy. Running, running, and running, running, and running, and running. Yeah. It'd be funny if that caused aggro. What Papalima told me, the trail ahead should lead us to the shadow of the wall. As we have two objectives, I suggest we divide our forces. I shall make straight away for the tunnels and attempt to intercept our comrades ere they stumble into a bloodbath. While I do so, I ask that you scale the wall. Know that I would not propose such a course if there were any other way. But time for subtlety is past. Take a band of your most trusted companions and cut through to the griffin. Make him see reason, by any means necessary. Once we are freed from the tunnel, we will make for your position with all due haste. And if anything proceeds according to plan, Hilda will then swoop in and spirit us all away to safety. I only pray that we have enough time. Nah, I just cut through the griffin. I like that better. Absolutely. Also, Daniel, do you know what's happening this week? End. I know. Oh, I know for sure you will be a fan of it. Claire, not fully sure. I thought I hit that. I just gotta double check to make sure that I'm right. On November 4th, the last episode of Attack on Titan happens. Yeah, it's finally time. You only watched the first 2 seasons? It's so good. Oh, the last one was such a bad. So they showed the trailer for this episode, and they showed this is the last one. There's nothing. There's no way they can do another one after this. This is the end. No, so did they, didn't they say that, the mangaka helped with some, I'm a little out of place here, helped with, like, maybe changing up the end ever so slightly? Thank you. is due to the widespread resentment of the ending. I personally loved the ending. I don't get what people are so tossed about with it. But I guess to each their own. Yeah, what were they expecting to happen? That is exactly how it was playing out to be the entire series. But if they do change the ending and the actual like creator of the series is involved in how it's different, then okay. I will accept it because it's not just being led up to like anime only writing like the original Full Metal Alchemist was. Yeah, it's one of like the best, like you can probably guess how it's going to end from the beginning. I mean, no, you actually really couldn't guess how it was going to end, but watching it through again, every sign of how it was meant to end is right there. Like, it just worked out perfectly. Hitties. That's a good search comment there. Missed answer, lady. Like, reading through the end, because I watched the last episode and was like, alright, I need to know what the ending is like before it actually happens. And I was like, oh, this is exactly what I would expect. All the hints were there, but put them together without watching was practically impossible. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was like, especially the speech he had with Armin was like, oh, yeah, that's why it all happened this way. It's one of my favorite endings to an anime, or to a manga series in general, technically. And it's like second or third on my overall favorite list. Yeah, exactly. Like, it was a beautiful ending to a beautifully written story. Everything that we could have expected and were given the hints to seeing did come through. I'll read that because I think that could work on my what's it called? On my samurai. Also, if you like animes where, or just stories in general that are like the ending and the beginning are intertwined, please watch Steins Gate. It's my favorite anime. I will I want to be able to forget watching it so I could watch it again for the first time. But I also kind of really want to do that with AOT and Black Clover and also Jujutsu Kaisen. Whoa, why am I in Alliance chat? That is the best feeling with something. If you want to forget it so you can experience it all over again. Exactly. I only had that a few times with games, and Final Fantasy is one of them, and I'm very happy that I usually have very crap memory. But when it comes to like manga and anime, it's a lot harder. But also, I'm just like a sucker for a story to go in a giant circle. But yeah, highly recommend Steins Gate. And its sequel series, Steins Gate 0. Need to send a text, but I don't want to fully look away. I'll be there in a second. Sorry. Short legs. Yeah, takes me longer to run over. Had to give the stubs a little bit of a break. Oh, hey, I'm in like the perfect spot, unintentionally. Ouch. Did not know that. I'm like trying to do this one hand because I'm dead. I'm gonna eat another boiled egg just in case. Pushing forward to kill the guys that are impersonating our friends. Me when he died. Sloppy. Murder.
Yeah.
Who would have guessed? They sloppy.
How'd you like this?
Flash powder. Dun dun. Ba da ba ba da ba da ba 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 da ba da. Hey, sloppy.
I'll tear you limb from limb. Yeah. Sloppy.
I love it.
For Alamigo!
For all my mangoes.
I have you now.
Ouch.
Yeah. How'd you like this?
Man's like, how do you like your Joes? And he's like, sloppy. That's like one of the dumbest jokes I think I've ever made.
Yeah.
No. I know you don't get stunned, but no. When words fail, Alfino picks up an act. Ilber's the kind of guy to increase your J's on her. No. He definitely is.
Sloppy. Yeah. I'll tear you limb from limb. Yeah. Sloppy.
Sloppy.
For Alamigo!
For all my mangoes. Alfino and the scholar with 2 Among Us people. Not Among Us, 2 what's that game called again? Oh, it's a cool jacket. Fall Guys.
You've beaten me, aye.
I beat your eye up? That's crazy.
But you cannot stop what I've begun.
Thank you for the help,
Behold,
player.
a glimpse of things to come.
Yeah.
We did it! We showed
Got a
the
lot
bastards!
going on here.
Aye!
Alright, everyone, grab your
Victory
popcorn.
is ours!
And who knows, lads? Mayhap the Eorzeans will finally see sense when the enemy turns up on their bloody doorstep.
This is for Alamigo, for Eorzea.
It's him.
They die that others may live.
It's you, little weird guy.
Vanguards! Attack!
Seven hells. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
War machines. How did they get here so quickly?
Magic?
Stand your ground! For the resistance!
There's nowhere to run. We're cut off.
Gods help us! What are we thinking? The Empire's too big. Too powerful.
But are they really?
Mighty Ralker. Grant us the strength to crush our...
There you are.
As you can see, our infiltrators did not elude me for long. Lady Ugiri is sending for an airship even as we speak.
What do we do? This is a massacre!
How wonderful to see you, Commander.
Ill bird. I should have known. This has to end. It has to end now. Do you not see your countrymen dying? Have your ideals rendered you blind even to that? Order the retreat, and we will help your soldiers to safety.
Retreat? With the moment of my triumph so close at hand? You truly are a sheltered child, Leveilleur.
Nidhogg's eyes. No abyss is too deep for you, I see. But trust me when I say that such power was not meant for mortal hands.
You don't care.
How long have I struggled to reach this point? My countrymen, so inured to the taste of defeat, they no longer balk at its bitterness, shouting my throat raw with rallying cries, only to be greeted with dull eyes and blank faces. My brothers and sisters in Ulda have surrendered to their apathy and their appetites. Were it not for the glint of Lodorito's coin, I doubt even those here now would have answered my call. Take back our homeland! Free Alamigo! Ha! They'll happily mouth the words, but they won't spill the blood. You say no mortal should wield these eyes? Then I shall gladly become a demon. I will suckle on the souls of the hopeless and liberate the homeland they no longer deserve.
What exactly do you mean to do?
Did you hear their cries as victory was snatched away from them? Even with their dying breaths, they cursed the Empire. Never has their desire for vengeance been so raw, so true. A god has no need of faith when summoned by so pure a purpose.
A porpoise.
Summoned? You cannot mean to fight the Empire with a primal! You know full well the danger, the futility of relying on such power.
I don't think he gives a damn, Alpha.
Oh yes, I know their limitations. Which is why I will call upon a deity more terrible than the very black worm of the calamity itself.
What? Here? Now?
Like hells you will!
An ending to mark a new beginning. My pain, my longing, you shall have it all!
Squishy. Ugh. That smile on his face the moment he's about to hit the floor is so disturbing. Not the music.
This light, is it...
His death completed the ritual. The primal is taking shape.
Well, can't we stop it? There must be something we can do!
There is one thing.
What? Hey! Where do you think you're going?
Master Louisoix briefly contained Bahamut by means of a potent spell of sealing. I will now attempt to do the same.
But that's impossible! We would need hours to collect the necessary ether, if not days!
Alphino, though I concede it may not always be apparent, I was ever your grandsire's finest pupil.
Tiptimati, of course! The staff still holds enormous power, broken or not.
Don't you dare, Papalimo! I know how that spell works. It is time to leave.
Quite right. Quickly now, off you go. The further away, the better.
No! If you're staying, then so am I.
No, but your plot necessary.
No, Ida! There is a path only you can walk, and it must not end here, not like this. Take her! Please, you have to take her!
What? No! Damn it, Thancred! Put me down! Thancred!
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you! Go!
I trust you, buddy. Because I usually click, I'm not leaving you, and it never works. So. I'm outnumbered by the female Lalas again now, Papalimo, because of you.
I think he means now!
I bid thee farewell again, my dear Ida.
And what do you mean again?
Now, let us see how good a student I truly was.
Big. For the longest time, I actually didn't know that you could see it. Because I'm usually like looking around at this level. But there it is. Why? Why didn't they let me stay? Papalymo is my friend. I should have been there with him. Well, we can't let you die. You're needed still. Your plot necessary. You could see it in his eyes, Ida. He knew what he was doing. What had to be done. Master Louisoix wore the same look right before the end. Do you think I don't know that? I know, alright, I know. There's nothing more you could have done. Elbert caught us all off guard. Even Little was powerless to stop him. If you must blame someone, then blame me. Just promise that you will never forget what Papalymo strove to protect, or the lessons he tried to teach you. Don't speak to me. Damn, edgy. You just hear MCR freaking blasting from her room now. Freaking Green Day's just blaring on the speakers. Leave Ida with me, and go on, get back to the Rising Stones. The others need to know what happened here. Griffin on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Big. Once again, I find myself at a loss for words. But as I continue to speak, know that Thancred is right. We must return to the Rising Stones and appraise our companions of all of this. Pray make your way there at once. I will send word to Y'shtola and the others of our imminent return. Cutscene time again. Let's go. It's a bunny girl, and she looks goth for some reason. Might just be because of the tattoos. It seemed that you bring ill tidings, brother. Aye. Behind the griffin's mask, we found the grinning face of an old adversary, Ilbert. I know not how, but he had in his possession the eyes of Nidhogg, whose dread power he used to initiate a summoning ritual, even as we looked on. By the 12. I do not understand. To attempt such a magic requires every ounce of one's ether. No one, not even grandfather, could cast it and hope to survive. Indeed. It was ever a last resort, and I am certain Papalymo was aware. Thus did the pupil follow in the footsteps of his master, even unto the grave. I have as yet been able to explain how Ilbert came to possess Nidhogg's eyes. In the depths of the sea clouds, a perpetual storm of water and wind aspected ether rages. No mortal could endure such conditions. Then mayhap it was the work of an Ascian. But now, is not the time for idle speculation. Kryl, I have need of your assistance. Yes, of course. We must inspect the cocoon of light, and ascertain the state of the primal trapped within. Between our respected talents, I dare say we shall glean some measure of insight. Understood. I cannot promise I'll be able to sense much through the barrier, but I shall certainly do my best. As shall I. Let us be about it then. I believe it turned into a primo. He said just like Louis. Well, true.
You know, the Phoenix and... Ugh.
Although, you know. Oh, I still need to look around to see if I can find any, like, potential recordings of original, Calamity Day. I was watching a video on, old, Sorkai, and it was, like, from 6 years ago, I think. And my god, yeah, they have changed that dungeon. At least at the very end. A good bit. But without such as by your leave? Pray forgive Archon Y'shtola her brevity. She seeketh employment, lest her grief deprive her of the will to act. A desire to comfort Ida doubtless compoundeth her unseemly haste. I too must contend with the grievous loss of mine own way. By thy leave, Lady Alize, now Ysel, I shall honor our fallen colleagues through gainful study. Exists writings which may yet further our understanding of this cocoon of light.
And he bows.
Mayhap I was too quick to judge. Surrendering to sadness and regret would only be a poor tribute to Papalymo's sacrifice. Quite. We must begin preparations to face Ilberd's accursed creation without delay. What time we have, was purchased at too dear a price for us to squander it. It changed it so that the platforms wouldn't disappear when they changed it again. This time basically making it a whole new fight. The second change was more for duty support. Yeah. Alright. Sending a snap of that to one of my friends. Six or 3.56 Forage of Fate Part 2. Ah, little. I wish I had more time to wish more to tell you, but the situation in the East Shroud remains largely unchanged, meaning we still have no idea how long it will be before a communication from the Alliance. One moment. I wonder if any of the fights in Stormblood have changed a significant bit. I hope one day this becomes a single-player game, so I understand the duty support changes. Would be a shame for this game just to end and never be played again. I really think that they're trying to aim for, once everything is said and done, people can play it as a single-player game. Or as like a, maybe even, I don't know, that one would be a little more iffy. A single-player game would be really nice, but even like a small 4-person multiplayer game if possible. That would be really cool. But again, servers and maintenance potentially. Single player games are a lot easier to not have to worry about like maintenance for in the long run. Especially if they plan on the next story also going for another 10 years. That would be basically a 20-year-old plus game, and who knows what they will, you know, what's the word I'm looking for, be capable of by then. I mean, it could be easier, it could be harder because of how the game was built at the time. Yes, of course. Our representatives will be present. My thanks. Word from Gridania. The council will shortly be reconvened. The alliance leaders have already begun to assemble. They wish to discuss the primal, of course. As Y'shtola's last report, the cocoon yet hung above the wall unchanged. Yes, but the Elder Seedseer doubtless shares our concerns about how long it will remain so. I am told that Sid Garland has been called in to add his expertise to the proceedings. A wise decision. The more minds we have working on this, the better. Well then, I suggest we leave the Rising Stones in Tataru's capable hands and make haste for the Lotus Stand. I'm looking for a Lady Ugiri. I love him. Because that's my boy.
A word, if you would, good sir. This place. It
Bro,
is within
Setsu.
the realm of Eorzea.
He's like, holy
You're an
shit,
odd-looking
this
fellow,
guy
aren't
is
you?
tall.
Still, takes all sorts, I suppose. This here's Vesper Bay. Thanalan's door to the ocean, as some folk like to call it.
Am I to understand from your answer that I have indeed arrived in Eorzea?
Eh? Yes, you're in Eorzea.
Ooh, didn't know that.
Ah, a plain response at last, and the one I wanted at that. My journey was not without its hardships, and I would sooner travel by land than put to sea again.
All about that.
You do not believe that so small a bark could bear me across the ocean? Such timid little sailors. I had but to set my course and set my jaw till I made port. Though, 'twould perhaps have been wise to lay down my oars a moment to sup on more than the spray of brine water. By the trembling of my limbs, I sense a brief repast may be in order. Nay, I will not hearken to the feeble grumblings of an empty belly. Duty comes before all.
Yeah, but food is tasty, buddy. That was a very loud... Yep.
Good God, man. Are you all right?
Legitimately me every day.
Thou art far indeed from home, friend.
No, look, it's her being sus, as always. Oh, hey, buddy. How you doing? That's a mask and a half. Or just being himself, hard to tell. I mean, I think he is sus in a natural form. Or like a natural like energy. But yeah. Maybe he is being a little extra sus today. Maybe he's not. Okay, I thought I saw that way differently. That's actually a nice color scheme that he has going on. Welcome, Ori of Light. This way, if you please. Our best boy to retain. Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Dear friends, pray accept my heartfelt thanks for your efforts in defense of Gridania's borders. I would fain dwell longer on my gratitude for the support of the Alliance, but the situation at Belsar's Wall demands that we forego such pleasantries.
According to our most recent intelligence, the cocoon of light that formed in the air above the wall remains undimmed and unbroken. After measuring the cocoon's etheric concentrations, Archon Y'shtola has confirmed the presence of a primal entity.
Is there a lot of lore behind him?
So we must assume that Ilbert's thrice damned god is indeed trapped within. And what news of the Imperials? They're not like to ignore such a spectacle.
Oh.
Sir, a Garlean airship was observed making an approach, but the vessel was destroyed when it drew near. The Empire appears to have made no subsequent attempts to reach the object.
The soldiers who witnessed the incident spoke of a lance of light issuing from within the cocoon.
Oh, damn.
Of an entire warship being reduced to
What a good
smoking
lady
ruin
she
in the
is.
space of a moment. Veterans of Cartano, meanwhile, likened the destruction to that wrought by the fiery wrath of Bahamut.
We could face another calamity.
So the Primal is awake then? Contained, yes, but for how long? We must destroy it now, lest it break free.
Agreed. There is, however, the small matter of how to get close enough to a being that swats warships from the sky as you would a bothersome gnat.
Is this truly so complex a puzzle? Or have you no stomach for the obvious solution?
What in the hells are you doing here?
Like, I'm home, honey. I've missed you, my darling.
A pleasure to see you too, Garland. Now, if you'd be so kind as to explain to these good people why you should be begging me for my assistance, that would be most appreciated.
Who is this man?
Oh, how terrifically rude of me. Nero Tolskeva, former tribunus of the 14th Legion of the Garlean Empire. These days, however, one might say that I'm something of a free agent.
Oh, wow, he's looking to join an esports group team?
I was getting to that. Although you already know what I'm about to propose, old friend. As you have rather belatedly realized, Within that frail binding lurks an entity alike in strength to the great Bahamut, and the only force in existence which might conceivably contend with such a foe is the very creation which captured the Elder Primal in the first place. I speak, of course, of Omega.
Omega? That hulk has been gathering dust beneath the plains of Cartanau since the Allagans breathed their last. And none alive knows how to wake it.
I'm sorry? Do you understand who it is with whom you have the privilege of speaking? I'm Nero Tolskeva, Master Engineer, the mechanical genius who restored the Ultima weapon to full operational capacity. And as luck would have it, I am graciously offering you the use of my considerable expertise.
And what, you just expect us to accept? You're a fool if you think your deeds at the Crystal Tower are enough to win my trust, Nero.
Trust? You wound me, Garland. All those years, studying side by side at the Academy, sharing both trial and triumph, we were countrymen once, you and I. But sentiment aside...
And lovers another.
Have you a better solution? Or do you mean to send in your vaunted hero there, as you always do, and pray the world is not engulfed in flame?
Is it engulfed in flame? No, thank you very much. I'm good at what I do.
Let us approach the problem in a rational manner. Does not the fact that Omega slumbers in stasis point to the existence of some overriding technology? A means of control?
I would ask a question, if I may. Nero, was it not? In the event that we succeeded in using Omega to shackle the Primal in the manner you propose, what then would become of it? Do we not risk repeating the mistakes of the Allagans?
Omega is but a tool. How we choose to employ that tool is entirely up to us. Of course, if you would rather leave it buried beneath Cartanau while you continue your petty squabbles above, then I suppose that is also your choice.
Spare us, Nero. The Seedseer's concern is a valid one. He who controls Omega wields the power of the gods, the very power which led the Allagans to destroy themselves.
And does it not fall to we engineers to prevent such misuse? What was your company's proud slogan? Freedom through technology?
A creed you follow, is it? What say you? Do we take this villain at his word?
No, but I'll keep an eye on him.
As will I. I don't like it, but then it doesn't look like we have much choice.
And then husbands were reunited.
Would the Council be willing to entrust this matter to a pair of former Imperials?
Yes. The task of restoring the Allagan relic will be yours. But the responsibility for its reawakening must remain with the Council. Do we condone this course of action?
You're here.
Aye. 'Twould seem we do. Let the record show that we invest this contingent with the authority to enter Cartanau and take command of Omega. Sid, I appoint you leader of the expedition. Scions, I would ask that you assign some few of your number to escort Master Garland and supervise the other one.
Use just the other one to them.
we should be happy to oblige. The politics of Carteneau being what they are, I dare say our neutrality will prove useful in avoiding any unnecessary entanglements.
If I am not mistaken, Doma occupies a similarly neutral position. Might we not persuade you to join the expedition, Lady Yugiri? If you suspected any foul play from Nero, you would be welcome to kill him.
My blade is yours.
Not a moment's hesitation, eh? You'll forgive me if I do not shake your hand.
Well, that was a rather unexpected development, and one which raises more number of questions. Not least among them how Nero chanced to learn the council meeting in the first place. You've got a point, my friend. Sid and the others are assembling at the airship landing. Alize is already on her way, and I do not want to lag too far behind. Let us be off. Including this one, 3 more quests. Little Alfino. Oh, that's right, I am Little Alfino. Ready to go? The others have stepped out onto the landing for a moment, lest you wonder. Nero insisted that he be allowed to inspect the Excelsior before boarding. And you let him? Despite his very timely offer of assistance, the thought of that man poking about in the workings of the airship without proper supervision does not fill me with confidence. Calm yourself, Alfino. Your sister was adamant that he would never leave her side. She and Yugiri are... well, here they are now. Right. I think that's everyone. Shall I set course for Carteneau? I might ask that we delay our departure slightly. I require no more than a few hours at most. Our colleagues are studying the cocoon even as we speak, and I would hear their latest observations ere we proceed. It would seem wise to gain a clear and understanding, as clear an understanding of the situation as possible before formulating our plans. Oh, I thought time was against us. How foolish of me. Hold your tongue. When we want your opinion, we'll ask for it. Forgive me, my lady. I shall keep my counsel until such a time as you have finished procrastinating. All right. While Alfino speaks with his colleagues, I shall fly the Excelsior over to Mordona, and we can reconvene at the Rising Stones. My apologies for the trouble. I shall visit Y'shtola and the others forthwith, and join you as soon as I am able. Little, pray accompany Alize back to the Rising Stones. I should feel safer knowing that you are present to entertain our guest. Alright, everyone. Heading to Mordona is welcome to travel aboard the Excelsior. I'll clear things with the girl at the counter here. Let her know when you're ready to leave. Ba ba da ba 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 na. You're chatting with Master Garland, sir. The Enterprise's Excelsior is right this way. My brain could not comprehend that word for a second. Ah, dog. Nanamo, ooh, Nanamo. Not quite a door-to-door service, but I couldn't exactly land her in the toll's main square. Shall we adjourn at the Rising Stones? Adjourn to the Rising Stones, my bad. Able to get in this way? Yeah. Never mind. Stupid question. Alright, just... Hey, that's dope. Just in case things go a little bit longer, and I don't know how the audio issue is gonna be, I'm just gonna do a quick little reset again. I need that there. I need that there. I'm just like trying to fix some stuff up as well really quick. I had a little too much of the, what is it called? The stream thumbnails in disarray. I just wanted to get them into place before I forgot again, because it's been literally all technically 17 thumbnails because we had the day where a stream crashed. So I had to make a 13 part 2. Oh, hello. Do. Neurotolskava. Voiced? This seems voiced.
So these are the fabled headquarters of the Scions. I confess I would have expected an order of self-proclaimed warrior scholars to surround themselves with the fruits of man's enlightenment. And yet there's not so much as a single piece of magitech in sight. It never ceases to amaze me how primitive you Eorzeans truly are.
I will show you how primitive it is when your head is on the floor.
I'll have you know that the Rising Stones is home to the very latest in magitech innovation. Wedge calls it the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boil Master, and it's the finest kettle I've ever had the pleasure to own.
That's, oh, Tatru, sweetheart. Tataru, honey, no.
We are returned. Well, Ida and I, at least. Ishtola and the others remain behind to continue their assessment of the binding magic.
There didn't seem much point staying just for that, so I decided to come back with Alphino. Papalimo bought us this time. We shouldn't waste it.
By your leave!
Good God, that voice could fell a gigas.
This is the Rising Stones, domicile of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I enter at the invitation of one Lord Eorzea. I spy you there, Shadow Walker. You always were a hard one to find.
That she is.
Yugiri, do you know this man?
That is ginormous.
Why are you come to Eorzea?
In search of you, Yugiri. For days and nights did I row across the angry sea. I made port in good spirits, only for my own flesh to betray me over the trifling matter of an empty belly. Collapsed in the street like an unfed stray I was, until Lord Eorzea came to my aid. Over a most welcome meal, we spoke of the plight of Doma, and I learned of our displaced countrymen's work to resettle this blighted land. 'Twas blind fortune that I was able to locate you so swiftly. But now we must make ready to depart. Our master languishes in dire peril, and Doma calls her daughter home.
It is not so simple, Gozetsu. There are obligations which bind me here.
You refuse? Did you mislay your oath during your flight from our homeland? The laws of hospitality must be honored, but surely the vow to defend your master demands the greater obeisance.
It was our master who bid me guide our people to safe haven by any means necessary. And it was the Scions you see before you who provided us succor and sanctuary when all others refused. Dire peril or no, were I to return without first repaying such hospitality, our master would cut me down at the threshold.
Mayhap that is so.
There is more. A crisis threatens all within this realm, Eorzean and Doman alike, and I go to play my part in its resolution. I will not bring shame upon our liege by abandoning my people or my duty.
How very noble of you. Now, in the name of honor, kinship, and, yes, practicality, might I suggest we get this expedition underway? Or would you rather debate the finer points of duty and leave Omega to the Empire?
The Empire? Yugiri, you draw steel against the curse of Garlemald? Then why did you not say so? My blade is oath-bound to fall upon the ranks of the Imperials wheresoever they march. Lead on, Shadow Walker, and may the enemy tremble at our coming.
Do you remember when the 21st of September? No. His V is so good. Do you remember when I had you meet me at the Diamond Forge and we, ambushed you? Please don't. Evil woman. Well, once we had your measurements, I set to work on making you a traveler outfit in my spare time. I've only just this moment finished the stitching, but I wanted you to have it before you left. Here. You can try it on right now if you like. Oh, that is kind of cute. Assuming we measured correctly, that should be just right. Snug, but not too snug, if you know what I mean. So, how does it feel? I like how that's like subtly being like, yeah, it should be good downstairs, right? It's like, you know, in the... It's like, Tatsuru, come on. I'm a little dumb, you guys. It's like, your penis fits well, right? It's like, that's... Like, why does she I've always taken it, she's like, you know, it's not gonna be... Which also concerns me. She said they measured every inch of me. Who measured that area? Was Tatu just, like, measuring the Warrior of Light's, like... package? And can I sue her? I do not consent to this villain being near me. If it was, what's her name? Yotsu? Whatever the moon girl's name is. If it was her, then yeah, sure. You're not just saying that, are you? Oh, I can't tell you how much this means to me. To have crafted something worthy of the Warrior of Light, well, let's just say it makes all the practice worthwhile. I skewed in a blood pearl charm to, you know, bring you home. May it always protect you. Whose blood is it made out of? Oh, that's really cute. I guess I'd be closest to the Alfino blue. Or that. That's a cute little outfit. I am curious though. Absolutely almost done with the award-winning Heavensward. Nah, the monocle doesn't fit the vibe. We have 2 more quests. So, we have to wake up Omega, right? When do we start? Ida, are you sure that's... I'm sure, yes. I won't lie and say I'm completely fine, but I feel a lot better if I'm doing something useful. Very well. I will remain here and continue coordinating our efforts with the Alliance. Alfino, mayhap you could return to Gridania and assist Y'shtola and Kryl. It's like all my name days have come at once. A fine suggestion. The rest of us will form the Cartanu Expeditionary Party. Nero and I will focus on rousing Omega, while Little Ida and our Doman friends take care of security. Oh. I like his little... The Excelsior is by the lake just outside. We'll leave as soon as everyone is ready. Let's go Alfino and taller Alfino. Alfino Levier and Alfino Froggier. Chonk monster. Oh, he's doing leave. We haven't far to go. With any luck, we'll be in Kachinu before Gosetsu graces the deck with his dinner. Once there, however, we had best be on our guard, given that Eileen Real was still active when Omega was discovered. We can be sure that the Empire has long been aware of its existence, and if Nero deemed the obvious solution to be to the threat posed by this new primal, it is not impossible that Garlemald might do the same. Have your weapon at the ready and your wits about you. Something tells me we're flying into a fight. Let's go and fight the big boy. Let's go and fight the big boy. Let's go and fight the big boy and kick his freaking ass. Or get our ass kicked. I don't remember if we get, like, stomped here. We just found a lead.
Now, where was that? Ah.
Gotta play with Nero's toys. Right.
I've enabled the teleporter. One brief jump and we shall arrive in Omega's control room.
How convenient. You've been here before.
Of course. It was no easy task threading a path through all the skirmishes. But how could I ignore the existence of such a fascinating toy? You may trust that my preliminary examination was suitably thorough.
Thorough.
Trust? Aye. I trust your appetite for technology.
I chased down a suspect airship, and who should I find but the traitor,
Sid
Garland.
Garland. Sid Garlic.
Searching for something, engineer? Something big?
Gordon, what?
It's close, isn't it? It's like all my name days have come at once.
I feel like he would say it's like all me name days. He seems like a me kind of guy.
I could have sent. Take care of that brute, will you?
God damn it. Can't let Nero tinker around in there by himself. I'm sorry to leave you to it, but I dare say you'll manage without me. This clod has no idea who he's dealing with.
Oh, do they not?
I am Gosetsu, Samurai of Doma. You will rue your choice of opponent this day.
God, I love him. Samurai teaser. I'll stomp these worms into the dust myself. This is my fight, understand? Stay out of it. No. Guys, come in. Slay this Savage. It's for the Empire!
'Tis my right to strike!
I'll break you into pieces.
No holding back!
How about there's only two each other?
No retreat. No
Probably.
surrender.
Look upon us, Samurai of Doma!
But technically this would be our first, like, time seeing it as a player in game.
An opening.
I have you!
This one'll sting.
Your defense is lacking.
Oh. Surrender. We have you outnumbered. Wouldn't be the first time. Plus, I can't count. Are you still playing with those soldiers? I suppose I can lend you one of my toys, but only if you promise to give it back. It's like, I don't like the way he talks. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Behold, the Red Baron. Now end this nonsense. What the? No one told me they'd have Magitech armor. Forward for the Empire. Yeah, that's a Marg Station one. The honorless Kurt thinks they're to abandon his men. I shall see that he shares their fate. Pray attend to the rest of his minions. Yes, sir. Do 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 do. What does this do? Is this a fun stomp? Nope.
An opening.
With soul and steel!
This one'll sting.
Boink.
No retreat.
What is
no surrender.
Oh, big line.
Look upon us, Samurai of Doma!
You watching, Papalimo?
Leave this to me.
Kaboom.
It's all over now.
He knows how to run away. He really does. He knows how to run away and die.
No holding back.
An opening.
With soul and steel!
This one'll sting.
The Colossi are scrap. The captain hit us, hits us as often as the enemy. No, deserting battle is punishable by death. I order you to stand your ground. Come back here now, please.
No retreat. No surrender.
Oh, damn it, dogs of the seventh heaven. I'll kill you bastards if it's the last thing I do. Which it's almost the last thing I do. No more vehicle fights and not just controlling other. Yeah.
You watching, Pabalimo?
I would like some more, you know,
Leave this to me.
vehicle related fights. Maybe in Dawntrail we'll have a pirate ship fight.
I have you.
It's all over now.
You haven't seen the last of me. Mark my words, it will be you who rules this day. Yeah, I rule this day, brother. Character you control and healthy. Yeah, God, I love that fight. That's probably like my favorite Hildy questline mission.
Temporal stasis disengaged. All systems operational. Garland?
All clear on this side. It's waking up.
Yeah. I wonder if there's gonna be like a, or like how the Hildy quest lines will end.
Remarkable. Omega sensors immediately detected the presence of the cocoon, even at this distance. They must have been set to scan for sources of energy exceeding certain magnitudes.
I still don't see any means to control the machine directly. It seems to have been designed to act wholly autonomously. Once we release Omega, we can be fairly certain it will attempt to capture the Primal at Belsar's Wall. Assuming its mission is successful, our only option at that point will be to re-engage its stasis system and put it back to sleep.
And should the machine happen to misbehave, we'll simply initiate an emergency shutdown. I confess we don't yet have a complete grasp of its capabilities, but I'm certain the details will not elude us for long.
Oh, true. Final Fantasy
Well,
Hildebrand.
I'm still less than half of that. So, my question to you is, are we doing the right thing?
Well, what do you think?
What do I think? All right. Step aside, Sid. Is this the thing I need to press?
Yes, that's the one.
You gave too much for us to waste this chance, Pabalimo. So this is for you. And me.
Yes! Fly free, my pretty! Show us what you can do.
The launch sequence has begun. Omega is loose.
Yeah. He was like, I'm skin is sneaky. Oh, never mind. Look at him. Will she?
Huh? Omega has stopped transmitting. But that shouldn't be. I didn't engage the stasis system.
And what does this signify? I have little understanding of these contrivances.
The launch went exactly to plan, but all signals emanating from Omega have ceased. This may indicate any number of things, but we will need to join the Scions out in the field. if we are to ascertain which one.
Right. I've ordered a malfunctioning beast to go to sleep. That should prevent any unfortunate mishaps. I suggest we make our way back to Gridania.
Omega destroyed the cocoon. Papalimo's spell is fading. It was bound to his ether, you see. And if the connection is broken...
Hey, city boy. I'm not sure why we lost connection with Omega, but I mean to find out. Let us be on our way. Yeah. Maybe he just doesn't care to listen. One moment everything was functioning perfectly, and the next it wasn't. It makes no sense. We need to see what happened for ourselves, and soon. Words can ill express how glad I am to see you all unharmed. When Omega came hurtling towards the cocoon, everything dissolved into chaos. Yep. I have to see it. I have to see it with my own eyes. Ida, wait! We must first... The other Seedseer is expecting us. Worry not, Alphino. Gosetsu and I will watch over her. You may safely attend your meeting. My thanks, Yugiri. The council reconvened a short while ago. Let us make haste for the Lotus stand, and all there are eager to hear your testimony. Cute. What I do tomorrow is really gonna depend. Really adorable. Tell me if Gudra. Gudra, good Pokemon. I don't know if I'm doing dungeons or if I'm gonna want to do the what's it called? The raids? And it honestly depends if you're able to join tomorrow or not, I guess, Claire. Now the Seedseer awaits you within. The Alexander raids that are, not the 24-mans. You have 2 months for Fall Guys, just a suggestion. I'm planning on doing Fall Guys Friday. I want to at least do something on it when it's still relatively early. But, I'll probably just do a lot of the stuff off stream because I want to try and get everything possible. And I know I'm really bad at... I know I'm going to be really bad at it, so... I've never won a single Fall Guys game, so I expect my 14 capabilities to be just as bad.
My friends, full eagerly have we awaited your return. Few, indeed, could have discharged the duty entrusted to you. And most humbly do we thank you for seeing done.
You are too kind, Eorzea. As I recall, we are as good as demanded the right to try. We as good as demanded the right to try. There we go. But tell me, how did the battle unfold? We succeeded in waking Omega Eye, but lost contact with the weapon shortly after it launched. From our position in the control room, we were blind to all that followed.
Sounds good.
What words could do justice to such a scene? None of my choosing, that much is certain. But I can give you the facts. The cocoon hatched even as Omega arrived. And from its midst rose a great dragon. The pair duly set about each other in the skies over Girabania. The primal's might defied belief. It seemed the very heavens would be rent asunder by the force of its blows, and it wielded such magics as I have never seen and never hope to see again. The battle raged on with no end in sight, until both combatants were engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When the radiance faded, I saw the pair fall, motionless from the sky, coming to rest somewhere on Alamegan's soil. I will not speak for the rest, but to my eye it seemed that each had landed a fatal blow upon the other.
While most among us couldn't think only of Bahamut when looking upon the primal's form, the Domans were heard to whisper the name Shinryu. It would appear that the being resembled the creature of Far Eastern legend, and we would have found it convenient to refer to it as such. This Shinryu's fate, and indeed that of Omega, is yet unknown. We have alas no eye on the Girabanian side of the border.
Aye, which is why we must set our main force under the command of Marshal Turpin to capture the wall. With Imperials in disarray, we have the perfect opportunity to secure Gridania's border and assess the aftermath of the impact. Myself will join the Marshal and his men when the council is adjourned.
Well, that explains a few things. I'll wager the flash of light coincided with the loss of contact. Lest you wonder, we quickly re-engage Omega stasis systems, so even if he has fallen into the Empire's lap, it will be of no use to them, save perhaps as a statue. Correct. Without me to guide their efforts, it would take them decades to decipher Omega's core functions, if they managed it at all. Such reassurance do much to calm our fears, yet the relic's fate is but one of several concerns.
Indeed, I humbly submit that the time has come for us to make contact with the Resistance. Representatives in Girabania. Though Ilbert has forced our hand, it would seem only logical to seek an alliance. Given it the inevitability of Imperial retaliation, and by working in concert, it is not impossible that Alamigo might finally be wrested from Garlemald's grasp.
You must be exhausted. I would ordinarily suggest that we retire directly to the Rising Stones, but I wonder if we might take a small detour. Y'shtola and the others have gathered at the Eorzea spire, and I imagine that you too would be interested to see what has become of the wall now that the cocoon is gone. It is decided then. Lead on. Alright. Forward march. This way. I wasn't going the wrong direction.
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
Ah, shit.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilbert's primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence.
Shinryu.
It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as no surprise. Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilbert all but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by Omega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Alag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She is up on the platform, lost in thought. We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhap she would welcome some company after all. Shall we?
The light's gone. It was all we had left of him.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalimo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time.
Ida, there is no need to explain.
It's the girl.
But there is. I can't hide in Papalimo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask. 20 years ago, On the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution. He had fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric. And my sister had fought alongside him. But she was strong and kind, and always knew what to do. But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too, and I never saw him again. After that, I remember a lot of running. My sister dragged me for malms and malms until we came to the city of Charlian. That was where she met Master Louis Soir. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon.
She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started?
Depends.
You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida.
Of course. We all recognized you at once. 'Twas Papalimo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
It was silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know. Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong. There must have been a lot of them.
I'm gonna stay silent.
I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise. When Papalimo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake, but I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself, and it almost seemed easier to play the role. Papalimo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me. The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it. So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lise. And I choose to continue my family's fight. I want Alamigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
War is upon us once more.
Do you regret standing against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker, we leave for the east, for Doma.
We leave for Doma.
It was brave of Lise to remove her mask after so long. Though she has scarce begun to come to terms with Papalymo's loss, that one act made plain her determination to move forward. Should she ever falter, we shall be there to support her on this side, on this road she has resolved to walk. Let us return to the Rising Stones. We have quite a story to tell, Tataru and my sister. Gonna be a long cutscene, so, or a long credit scene. You may have mentioned, but Alfino has apprised me of all that came to pass in Gridania. Your only task now is to rest. That this is the calm before the storm. Lise has chosen her path, and as her friends, we must do what we can to support that choice. We are fated to join the conflict in any case. Once all the Alliance has taken to the wall and opened the way to Girabania, we will have little choice but to fight. Which I do not say the cause is unworthy. After all, ignoring the plight of those whom once might conceivably save is not wisdom but indolence. Correct? I for one look forward to joining hands with the Alamegans and striking a blow against the tyranny of the Empire, as I rather suspect you do. We can march. The Imperials will soon come to their senses, and we must be ready to face their retribution. It is almost time, Father. Aye, almost time. Stand firm, Pippin. I learned to brace myself against the charge of the Bull of Alamigo. No foe will dislodge me. Very well, Ilbert. I will take our homeland back. For the both of us. La Habrea. Every time I hear this, I just hear the La Habrea line in my head. My Lord Viceroy, our scouts have confirmed the preliminary report. Baelsar's wall has fallen to the Eorzean Alliance. Xenos! The hunt for Omega and the unknown icon continues. Though both yet elude us, my lord, their battle caused considerable damage across the region. Should we perchance divert some of our forces to the search from the search to undertake necessary reconstruction work? Forgive me, my lord. I do not intend... Your will be done. Best friend. I shall be there for you, always. Unknown. My spies tell me the Domans call it Shinryu, and that it proved a match for Omega. Yes, the coming days promise to be the most interesting. Most interesting indeed. I'm adding that indeed because I should have put it in there. God. I want to kiss this man. At the far edge of fate, the road begins anew. The heroes look to eastern skies, and behold the crimson hue. A dawn of liberation, a gathering of storm of blood. Beyond the Great Wall, where we all rise. Alright. That will be the end for today. Tomorrow depends what we're doing. Friday, my stream will begin later because I have an appointment to get some stuff set up for a new wheelchair. So hopefully everything goes to plan for that day. And if anything, we'll maybe run a few dungeons, do some of the Fall Guys event. Friday will be a very relaxed, laid back kind of day. Before all the, what's it called? Extreme trials and 24-man raids begin. And I don't know, maybe there'll be a slight outfit change by tomorrow. I don't know if I'm still going to be running around as specifically Alfino Littler or if I'll be Alfino Froggier tomorrow. So we'll figure that out. But Daniel, Claire, thank you both for hanging out. Anyone who's been lurking, highly appreciated. If you're new, like, sub, all that jazz. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic rest of your night. I'm gonna go eat some fish and chips because I miss eating fish and chips. Anyways, take care. Bye-bye, guys.